Welcome everybody to the Days for Girls Impact Partner Forum. Thank you so much for being here today. We are so excited to have you here. We would love to hear from you. Where are you dialing in from today? And what organization are you with? Just pop that in the chat. We would love to know that from you and just be able to have that connection. We definitely have a lot of people registered for today's event, and I know some of you are just coming into the room, but we're going to go ahead and get started in the interest of time. So while I am kicking us off, definitely let us know in the chat where you're from and what organization you're with. We'd love to know. So my name is Jessica Williams. I'm the Chief Development and Communications Officer at Days for Girls. And I wanted to let you know that if you have any questions for today's event, please put them in the Q&A section or the chat box, and our moderators will answer them throughout the event. And as a reminder, this event is being recorded, and we will be sending out the recording link after the event is over. So let's get started. I want to show you an incredible video that we received this year, just recently actually, about our in Days for Girls in Nepal, which is where they practice, well, in rural regions of Nepal, the practice of chapati is still happening in communities in kind of the outskirts of the cities. And so our work in Nepal is especially meaningful as we help to dismantle the taboos of chapati and these myths that are based in outdated ideas. And so I want to show you this video. You're going to learn more about chapati if you've never heard of it in the video. It's like 3 minutes long, and that'll give everybody a little more time to get in the room. And then after that, we'll begin our program. All right, thanks.
मेरो नाम पार्वती देवी खत्री हो। घरै आएर भएको त्यही उनीहरू त लापरवाही भयो। के गर्ने, पहिला त्यो पहाडतिरको चलन अब बुढा पुरानाहरू त्यस्तै गर्थे म्याडम। अनि बाहिर बस्ने के गर्नु अनि जस्तो बस्ने बुढालाई भनेको म बाहिर बस्नु डर लाग्छ अनि आइदिनु भनेपछि उतापट्टि म सुत्थेँ यतापट्टि आउँछु।
नमस्ते, मेरो नाम चाहिँ सङ्गीता जोशी। मलाई त्यस्तो नराम्रो एकदम नराम्रो फिल हुन्छ, मलाई ब्याड फिल भइरहेको छ। यस्तो अब जस्तो भयो हाम्रो अब आमा भाउजू अब सबै अब यस्तो टाढा बस्नुपर्ने, कतिपय महिलाहरू त यस्तो पिँढीमा परेको छ नि त, अब धेरै बलात्कार हुने अनि यस्तो सरबले टोकेर मर्ने धेरै भइन्छ नि त, त्यही भएर मलाई नराम्रो फिल हुन्छ।
Namaste, I'm Maya Khaitu. I'm working as a country director for Days for Girls Nepal. Chapati tradition is mostly it's practiced mid-western and far western part of Nepal. It's a small hut and it's mostly open. It's very dangerous for the women and girls. At the same time, every year 4 or 5 women die staying in the Chapati hut. Currently, we are working with different projects regarding menstruation, and mostly we work for menstrual health education and the washable pads, teaching women and girls at the same time boys.
Incredibly grateful to be partnering with eMite, not only for the contribution that you've made towards our projects over the last few years, but also for the opportunity to share the stories of what is happening on the ground all over the world for our amazing local leaders.
भन्दाखेरि अब गाउँघरमा सबैले हामीले यस्तो अब हामी विद्यार्थीहरूले अब घरमा त अब नबुझेको सदस्य पनि हुन सक्छन् नि, त्यही भएर हामीले अब चाहेपछि सबै कुराको चेन्ज हुन सक्छ।
All right, thank you to our impact partner, Mite.org, for that video. Mite.org has been an incredible partner of ours for the last couple of years. Speaking of impact partners, and we're so grateful for their work creating incredible content for us. So thank you for letting them, or to them for letting us share that. Again, for those of you who are just joining us, I'm Jessica Williams. I'm the Chief Development and Communications Officer here at Days for Girls International. And I'm so excited to introduce you to the rest of my team who is also here today to join us and help out. First of all, we have April Haberman, who probably many of you know. She is the Senior Development Director here at Days for Girls International, and she'll be coming on here in just a minute. And then I want to introduce you to Lauren Nelson, who is our grants manager, but she does so much more. She works on communications as well for me, and she is a superstar. So we're so excited to have her here as well today. So let me dive in and tell you a little bit more about our impact partners. So if you are currently an impact partner, thank you. Thank you so much for your support. We could not do this work without you. We are so proud of our impact partner program here at Days for Girls. If you are not currently an impact partner, you can learn more by going to daysforgirls.org/impact partner program. Let's take a look at a few of our impact partners that we're really proud of. So as you can tell, we have a lot here. I'm not going to read them all off, but just going to name a few that I know are in the room. Altera Advisors. I can tell there's a lot of you in the room. Thank you so much for being here. Really grateful for that. And Starbucks Foundation is a big supporter. This is Elle is a big supporter. The Honey Pot, we're really excited to tell you about a new partnership that we have with them. MDRT Foundation, I Got Games, big partner and has donated a lot of money to our organization. We're so grateful. Columbia, Floor and Bead, doTERRA Healing Hands, Bloom, Rice Gatherings, the Rotary International, Lotus Sojourns, the Seven Virtues Perfume Company, so many organizations, Warner Media. We are so grateful that you're all here and support our work. We could not, again, do this work without you. So our agenda today is we're going to go over some program highlights. We're going to go pretty quick, and it's gonna be a lot, but we wanted to really share with you some of the amazing work that we've been doing over the first and part of the second quarter this year, and talk about some opportunities that we've have with our work that you can partner and get involved with. And then we'll have a Q&A section at the end. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put those in the Q&A or in the chat. We do have moderators here who are helping monitor the Q&A and the chat, but then we'll also save some questions for the end and bring them to the larger group for everyone to hear. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. To kick us off, I would like to introduce April Haberman, who's going to take it from here for me. April?
Thanks, Jessica. I appreciate it. And welcome, Impact Partners. As everyone knows, I'm sure I've talked to most of you, Impact Partners are truly my heart song. I love working with each and every one of you. And I want to thank you for being here and thank you for your partnership and echo what Jessica just said. We're truly grateful for each and every one of you, and we can't do this work without you. I know that most of you follow our progress either through our blog, our newsletter, or in conversation with me, but we have numbers here that I wanted to share with you that are hot off the press and super exciting. To date, look at this number. Our all-time reach is 2,870,770 That's the latest number hot off the press. In 2023, we've reached 76,212 alone. As you can see here, and you can do the math, we are on track to hit 2.9 million by the end of the year. It's really, really exciting. And as you can also see here from the slide, the distribution is 52%. Our kits have been distributed through enterprises and offices through the majority. And that's exciting news too, because it means that not only is our enterprise program working, but it's thriving. It's really exciting. Here we go. For those of you that have hopped on that aren't familiar with our Days for Girls model, I thought that I would just briefly give you a broad stroke of what we do. Most everyone is familiar with the fact that Days for Girls provides washable pad kits. That's our tangible item that we're able to give her to meet her immediate needs. Alongside every distribution, however, we do deliver menstrual health education, both to women and girls, as well as men and boys, because we recognize that they're key allies for change. And then, as I just mentioned, our enterprise model, we set up enterprises around the globe where we train women and girls to make our kits, sell our kits, deliver that health education, as well as work with policy and advocacy at the local and national level to ensure that we have long-term systemic change. And all of these things, all of these activities are engaged in with not only our enterprises, but with our volunteers, our offices, and our clubs, both globally and locally. So, did you catch what I just said? Did you know that we work both globally and locally? I want to highlight some of our work in the US because it's not as known as our global work overseas. Let me touch on that for just a moment. I want to highlight the Honey Pot and Walmart partnership. This is L, which is P&G, and then highlight a few of our chapter and team distributions for you. We're super excited to partner with the Honey Pot again this year. They've been a wonderful partner of ours for several years. They're a beautiful product if you haven't tried them. And we're excited to announce that as of June 1st, we will be on an end cap display that you can see here on the right-hand side of your screen alongside the Honey Pot. This is a fantastic opportunity for Days for Girls, not only to raise awareness for us, but to raise awareness for the importance of bringing menstrual equity to women and girls. So look for that. The next time you're in Walmart, as of June 1st, look for that end cap display. We're super excited. And then This Is L. We have been partners with This Is L for a number of years. We love This Is L and P&G. And this year, they're supporting our US work, primarily our clubs. Did you know that we have Days for Girls clubs that work primarily on college campuses? They're extremely active in bringing product and advocacy to their local communities. I wanted to just highlight a few things that This Is L has enabled us to do this year. Back in November, they enabled us to host a summit for our Days for Girls clubs, where they all came together and shared best practices. It was a really fantastic summit. They shared ideas on how they recruit volunteers, some of their most successful activities, how their clubs are structured, and some of the important advocacy work that they're involved with at a local level, so that all of our clubs are elevated and successful. And then you can see here on the right-hand side of your screen, this is a photo of our Eagleville, Pennsylvania team. And they recently partnered with a women and community health group, and they were able to take our Ambassador of Women's Health training and deliver that alongside health practitioners to 21 women. And it was a fantastic and a special opportunity for them to come together. There was a lot of laughter. There were a lot of questions. They distributed menstrual cups and our menstrual pad kits to them as well. And it was really just proof in the pudding that not only is our health education needed, but that women are thirsty for that information and that knowledge because it's empowering. And then I also wanted to share about our chapters and teams. Most of you are aware that our chapters and team volunteers work to create and make kits that are distributed for humanitarian and crisis relief efforts. But did you know that our volunteers also work at a local level to distribute our kits and our products, as well as our health education, to refugees, to food banks and shelters and farm workers and indigenous communities? All over our community, our Days for Girls chapters and teams are reaching more women and girls on a local level. In fact, since 2019, our chapters and teams have distributed 32,000 Days for Girls kits. Bravo, chapters and teams. I'm going to move now and pass the baton over to Lauren, allowing her to talk a little bit more about our work over the past 5 months on a global scale. So Lauren, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, I am super excited to share with you all more about the work and impact that Days for Girls has had internationally. You all know, I'm sure, a few months recently, there was the earthquake in Turkey and Syria that affected millions, including many women and girls. As April mentioned, we have a humanitarian response. And as part of that humanitarian response, we were able to send 2,700 hybrid kits to reach these women and girls in crisis. We did so in partnership with our partners, AmeriCares and Global Empowerment Mission. Often in humanitarian efforts, menstrual health is overlooked. And so we were appreciative of the opportunity to help these women and girls be able to menstruate with safety and dignity during this time of crisis. Then, there we go. Oh, there we go. Then, meanwhile, in Nepal, in November of last year, we gathered 13 representatives from 8 Days for Girls enterprises to participate in a 3-day training workshop. This was an incredible opportunity to gather these leaders from around Nepal to learn more about marketing and advocacy and sales, and especially learning about how advocacy can lead to marketing and increase of sales. Sorry, there's a dog in the background if you can hear, but we also talked with them about adhering to national standards and regulations. And after this training, they were able to take that information and go back and apply that in their communities and help uplift people there as well. Then in Kenya, in 2021, we were able to get a grant from the Starbucks Foundation. And due to that grant, we were able to implement 2 enterprises, which we launched in conjunction with our partner Village Enterprise in the Mount Elgon region, which is a coffee growing region of Kenya. And this is really exciting because of those 2 enterprises, we were able to reach 4,500 people with menstrual health kits and education. We focus primarily on youth and schools. And then in the enterprises, 3/4 of the women who are working there are widows due to local conflict. But because of their job and work in the enterprises, they're able to achieve economic independence and become leaders in their community, which is a circumstance that they would likely not have had otherwise. Also, due to our work in that region, Days for Girls received the NCA award earlier this year, which will hopefully afford future opportunities with other organizations. And then in Cambodia, we are implementing our menstrual health teacher training and education program in partnership with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports. With your contribution, we were able to complete our pilot project in 2022, so last year. And at the end of last year, in November, we were able to meet with stakeholders, including master teachers and provincial teachers and government leaders from the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports to establish a vision for how to proceed and continue to reach more girls throughout Cambodia. Due to those efforts, we were able to have a signed memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports, which will go through 2023 to 2025. Our goal with looking ahead, our goal is to reach 600 teachers and 15,000 students, with the ultimate outcome being to create sustainable, holistic menstrual health environments that will last and for years to come and will affect many women and children throughout the country. And with that, I'll turn it back to April.
Thank you, Lauren. As you can see, Days for Girls has been very busy over the past 5 months. Those are just a few highlights of what we've been working on. What I'd like to do now is kind of shift to future. And what we're working on here in the next couple of months. It's going to be a very busy May as well as a very busy summer. I often get the question from impact partners, how can we get more involved at a deeper level? Or how can my employees be more hands-on with your organization? And we're going to talk about a few of those opportunities here. What we are most excited about to share with you today is our Period Positive Workplace initiative. This initiative that I'm going to talk through here for the next couple of minutes is something that Days for Girls and several other organizations have been working on for really almost a year now, in partnership with Share the Dignity, the Policy Project, PSI Europe, the PAD Project, and the Toilet Board Coalition. We have come together to support gender equality, providing period products in the workplace. We believe that the private sector plays an essential role in advancing menstrual equity, especially for women in the workplace. And the good news is that awareness for menstrual health is heightened, it's increased. It's a wonderful time to be a part of Days for Girls and other organizations that are advancing menstrual equity. Most of that focuses on students and youth, excuse me, and we believe that we can change that together with you, with impact partners, with other private sector organizations. It has been shown through studies that by supporting women in the workplace and bringing not only menstrual products, but just equality in general, that it decreases absenteeism and it increases presenteeism as well as productivity. So it's really a win-win for everyone. So what is it? What is the ask and what is the Period Positive Workplace? The ask is only 3 things. It's very simple. We're asking that private sector provide period products either near or in the restroom or the bathroom that are either for free, subsidized, or at a really low cost entry point for women. The second is adequate wash facilities. Provide a private restroom with water and soap so that she can wash her hands. And then last but not least, include it in your employee benefits package so that it's something that stays and something that you can advertise to your employees through recruiting, through employee retention. This is a wonderful benefit for you to offer all of your employees. Bear in mind too that the Period Positive Workplace Initiative is a global initiative. So some of you may be thinking, well, we already do that. We provide period products, or why wouldn't we have a restroom available for our employees? This is a global initiative, and in many areas around the world, organizations don't offer this right now. So it's a bigger leap for them, but not for you. It's very, very simple. So what do we do? How do you become involved with this movement and this initiative? It's easy. You can visit periodpositiveworkplace.org. You'll basically just commit to those 3 things that I just mentioned. You submit that, and then within 5 to 8 business days, we get back to you with a congratulatory email as well as a complete toolkit that we've put together for you. We make it so simple for you to send notification to your employees, to post social media information. We give you a period positive workplace badge that you can put on your website. It really, truly is all there for you. And if you're already providing period products in the workplace, this is just a great way for you to advertise the fact that you are doing that, both for your employees as well as externally facing. So we hope that you can join the movement. We officially launched that on May 25th, but you can join now if you'd like. And if you have questions, feel free to send me an email for those of you that have my email, or development@daysforgirls.org. We're also really excited to launch our Power of She campaign again for the summer. It will begin June 1st and run through the end of August. And this is basically group activities that help us to fundraise and build awareness for Days for Girls and highlights period poverty worldwide. Many of you probably already know that for nonprofits, and Days for Girls included, the summer months are really slow months for fundraising. And so the Power of She campaign is a way for us to bridge that funding between spring and fall campaigns. And it's a fantastic way to involve employees. We have a beautiful toolkit, much like that period positive workplace toolkit that we send you when you set up your fundraising page. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Basically, all you have to do is decide on what that group activity is, whether it's a 5K walk, a 5K run, a bike ride, stand-up paddleboards, wine and cheese, barbecue in your backyard, you name it. Bring your friends, relatives, and neighbors together, talk about Days for Girls, get them to make a donation, and help them to support period poverty and the organization. It's really a great time to be a part of the menstrual health space. There's heightened awareness, as I mentioned previously, around menstrual health. That's the good news. In fact, I'm going to ask Tessa, who is with us, to post a link to an article that was just published by the Sanitation Hygiene Fund. The UN WASH Convention, they called out menstrual health as being much needed focus in the WASH space. And they published a fantastic report if you want to snag it and read it. Again, it's a great time to be a part of this menstrual health space. And we're glad that you are already partnering with us. If you're interested in hosting a Power of She fundraiser, you can just go over to daysforgirls.org/Power of She, and you'll find everything that you need to host an event. And then I also wanted to highlight a couple of our employee events that we just recently hosted with the Starbucks Foundation and Columbia Sportswear. Again, I get this question all the time. How can my employees get more involved with Days for Girls? Basically, what we do is we come bring employees together on site or virtual, by the way. You can do this virtually. We conduct a 10 to 15 minute presentation on Days for Girls, and then employees have the opportunity to stuff the pads with the liners, fold panties, and then we send all of those supplies back to our Utah Resource Center, and those supplies are used for humanitarian relief or crisis situations. And you can see by the smiles on everyone's faces, we have a fantastic time. Conversations are many to be had, and there's lots and lots of questions. It's really a great team bonding opportunity. And then last but not least, Menstrual Hygiene Day is coming up on May 28th, and we're really excited about that. For those of you that don't know why 5/28 is chosen for Menstrual Hygiene Day, it's because women menstruate on average of 5 days each month, every 28 days. There's a little tidbit. Menstrual Hygiene Day is also a great way for you to highlight the fact that you are partnering with Days for Girls, as well as help elevate awareness around menstrual hygiene and the importance of ending period poverty. If you'd like to participate in Menstrual Hygiene Day, you can visit menstrualhygieneday.org. They, again, have a toolkit for you full of social media posts and language that you can use on your website, newsletters, and blogs. They have hashtags that you can use. And if you do decide to participate in Menstrual Hygiene Day, we just ask that you tag us at Days for Girls. And with that, I am going to hand it back to Jessica for our Q&A.
Thank you, April. Thank you, Lauren, for sharing all of that for everybody. I'm so glad we were able to highlight some of the amazing work that we're doing around the world. So yes, let's talk about questions. So let's see, okay, so here we go. Looking at the questions right now. All right, so the first one I've got is, it says, you mentioned opportunities to partner with Days for Girls for organizations. Can you talk about some of the different ways that organizations are partnering that maybe you didn't highlight here, in ways we could get involved? So I'm gonna pass that over to April and see if April would like to take that.
Sure, I'm happy to. Thank you for the question. There are many, many ways for you to partner with Days for Girls at various levels. I talked a little bit about employee engagement just a few minutes ago, but at a corporate level, our partners really come alongside us in many ways. We see opportunities like the Starbucks Foundation that have grants that we're able to apply for, and they're kind enough to donate that way. We have corporate partners that make a one-time donation, or there are other partners that have a percentage of proceeds, like the Seven Virtues. They are donating a portion of proceeds for their new perfume launch at the end of this year. We also have product donations that come in. So the Honey Pot and This Is Elle has been kind enough to donate some of their disposable products to us so that we can use those in our hybrid kits with our distributions. In the US, we provide hybrid kits that have both disposables and washable products in them so that women and girls have a choice. And that product donation allows us to do that. We also have corporate partners that have their own fundraising pages. Columbia Sportswear does this from time to time, where they'll have a fundraising contest internally for their employees. And then we've also had organizations like Classy who have really elevated that employee contest, whereas employees that raise $10,000 or above, the top 10 were able to go. They took them all to Uganda to visit our Uganda office. So you can see that there is just a broad range of opportunity to get involved with Days for Girls, and however that looks for your organization and whatever works best for you. Jessica, I'll pass it back to you.
Yeah, April. So we have another question I'm going to let you answer, or maybe we'll pass it over to Lauren and let her take a turn. In terms of getting employees involved, the question is, how can individual employees get more involved with Days for Girls? Lauren?
Yeah, that's a great question. And kind of to echo what April was saying, there are lots of different ways that individual employees can get involved with Days for Girls. One of the ways is very similar to what April highlighted while she was speaking earlier about the Columbia event. Sometimes organizations will put on specific events, like we did an Expedia, or Expedia did a Day of Caring, and Days for Girls was able to come in and engage with the employees who were able to help do some service and volunteer work by folding panties and helping to do that sort of thing. There's also, we have locally many chapters and teams, and so you could always look at maybe contacting one of them, or looking, there's a link on our website where you can find chapters and teams that are closest to you. So you could always find which one's close and connect with them on a more localized level. If you want more specific information, we have different ideas also listed on our website, or you can email development@daysforgirls.org for ideas. Or if you want to take more of an advocacy approach, you can always email advocacy@daysforgirls.org as well for more information. I don't know, April, if you have anything you wanted to add, or we can pass it back to Jessica.
I love that you brought up advocacy, and I just want to echo that. Oftentimes, when we say advocacy, we think political, which it can be influencing, you know, the political realm, but advocacy is much more than that. And if you are interested in advocacy work, we do have a tab on our website where you can download an advocacy handbook, and it will give you a wealth of ideas on how you can get involved with advocacy at a local level or even a state level within your own community. So thanks for mentioning that, Lauren. Jessica?
Thank you to you both. Such great questions. So that is it for the questions. So I wanted to go ahead and wrap up and thank everybody for being here today. As April said earlier, this is a really amazing time for menstrual health. For so many years, menstrual health did not get the attention it deserved. And we are seeing on the international stage in a variety of different places, whether it be related to sustainable development goals or through the World Health Organization, that menstrual health is being recognized again and again. In fact, the study that Tessa put into the chat comes from the Sanitation and Hygiene Fund and is related to WASH, which is water and sanitation and hygiene, because we often forget that menstrual health is part of the hygiene realm and requires water. And so they're all interconnected. These issues are all very much related. And so menstrual health is definitely getting a lot more attention. So it's an exciting time to be a part of Days for Girls. I think we're going to look back on this time someday in the future and remember when menstrual health wasn't getting the recognition it deserved. And we're going to look back and think, I'm so glad we were able to solve that problem, because this is really truly an issue we can solve in our lifetimes. This is not rocket science. We can get women and girls the supplies that they need to manage their menstruation with dignity, and we can give them the education that they need so that they understand their health and they can go out and seek opportunities in the world with the sense of equity that they need, and to attend school, to attend work, and to be equal partners in their community. And you are helping to do that as our impact partners. And with your funding, we have been able to do incredible things. And we are so, so grateful for your support. If you would like to get more involved with Days for Girls, please don't forget all of those options that we just mentioned. And there's a link in the chat where you can learn more about our Impact Partner Program. If you have additional funding opportunities you'd like to let us know about, don't hesitate to reach out at development@daysforgirls.org. And then we are always open to doing a variety of different things with our impact partners. So definitely let us know. And thank you again for being here today to celebrate the work that you've helped make possible. And again, we're going to share the recording at the end if you want to share it with any of your colleagues and show them the work that they have helped make possible through your donations and your organization's support. So thank you for your commitment to menstrual equity, and thank you for being our partner in this work. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day. I am going to leave the chat open in case anyone wants to catch those links before they go, but we're going to go ahead and say our goodbyes now. Thank you.